Welcome to this week's episode of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters podcast. We chart the cinematic legacy of the classic monsters. I'm John Campbell. With me, as always, Brendan Jones.
You know, John, the thing I really appreciated about this take on the Frankenstein story is, boy, this one just jumped in. This one, it didn't do any of the origin. It just jumps right in.
He's
killing people right left and right. There's the Frankenstein and Elizabeth, all that stuff, and then we're in the Arctic.
Yeah.
They didn't mess around, and this is a tight 88-minute version of the story. I really liked it.
I know. Could you believe it?
Oh,
wait. I think you might have missed something, Brendan. In fact,
what?
If anyone remembers last week's episode, we did actually talk about this being a two-parter.
There's a part one.
Hang on. Let me go back real quick. Let's just pause this. Let me go watch that real quick. All right.
Well, you may watch it, but you won't watch it right quick.
No. This is boy. Yeah, this is if you were with us last week, we were talking about part one of the 2004. The fine folks at Hallmark Entertainment brought us part one of Frankenstein, and now here it is, the thrilling conclusion. All our questions have been answered. What a finale!
The thing I did like about this is very part two-y.
It couldn't be more part two-y.
Couldn't even be more part two-y. I will say, Again, I being the guy's like worried about how are you treating the source material.
Yeah.
This is treating the source material just fine, but it is, as we said last week, it is kind of just the beats and some decent scenes here and there, and some decent acting. But really, this doesn't add up to much.
No.
Even when it's at its most impressive, I go, if you had taken that and plopped it in a better Frankenstein movie. This thing, when you put both parts together, is this as long as Oppenheimer or shorter? It may be slightly shorter.
I think it's a little under. Yeah, I think it's a little under.
If it's a little shorter, can you imagine watching these two back to back, 1 3-hour chunk?
Dude, I will say, I talked about this last week, that I thought the first part kind of moved along. This one I did feel, especially down the stretch, I'm like, Jesus. By the time that it's literally just guys on dog sleds chasing each other in pretty nondescript, almost like just blank white backgrounds, I'm going like, okay, let's get this over with.
And it is a thing where we talked about padding last time. This one's very...
Part two
one, as you said...
is all padding.
Is like, because literally when you mentioned that, I was surprised that we saw Frankenstein finding notes and being led across the world and then selling his horse to buy a dog sled. And I'm like, this was not necessary.
Dragging,
we didn't need it.
Yeah.
I know. It's just like, buddy, move on. Even Mary Shelley would be sitting there going like, all you need to know is he followed him to the pole.
The last half of this is 3 times as long as it needs to be. Like the last 40 minutes of this thing are.
And the reason I brought up Oppenheimer is there are some things where what happens in Oppenheimer, it is a biopic, but you never feel it being over 3 hours long.
It's just, that I was completely pulled in by that absolute masterpiece.
Right. And this is a story set in another time and place that has a supernatural or alchemical being brought to life from dead corpses. We should be even more enwrapped over 3 hours because what a story. And instead you go, thank you, Hallmark. You get an A on your book report. This was an A book report is what this whole movie was.
No, that's it exactly. That's sort of the thing where we've talked about this a little bit last week, and now having seen both, it's definitely the case when people write positive IMDb reviews of this and go, the most faithful adaptation. It's like, so? okay,
I know,
sure.
That's not necessarily...
The accomplishment of, you did it. Great. You read the book.
You didn't miss a bit of the story.
Yeah,
you even added some bits.
You added some stuff, and there's stuff in here. Particularly, I felt this even more so in this one. Is you're doing the stuff in the book, but now it doesn't make sense when you put it into a feature film, or in this case, a 3-hour thing. It's okay, things that can kind of just occur in the process of a book story need more like grounding and character motivation in a film, because in a book I think you can passage of time and stuff like that is a little bit more, you can get a little more swept up in the narrative. But here so many times you're going like, wait, what do they want? Why are they doing that? Why did he do that? Like, that's the thing that gets me about this is like they're just doing the events, but they're not digging into any of it. There's no depth to it. It's just like, we just did the book.
Anytime depth occurs in this, it is the writing is okay, but I'll say it's every now and then it's the script and mostly the actors trying to put that there. I will say that in part 2, I don't know if you agree or not, but in part 2, for me, I thought the most effective scene and the one I liked the best was that first confrontation up in the mountain between, Frankenstein and the creature. Just the two actors, and that was pretty great. That was a good Frankenstein meets his creature scene.
Agreed. One of the interesting things about this is because, and I think this really is, while this is a handsome production, you also see where the TV budget's up. When it gets into the action is actually where it gets boring.
Yeah,
because they can't really add any kind of exhilaration to it or anything. There's no energy to the action, so you get those dog sled chases, which you're just going like, and this is where it falls apart.
The dog sled chase shouldn't be action beats anyway. The whole thing is the mystery of the bracket storyline, which is literally the bookends of these people on the ice, and they see these two. Where did those people come from? There's a mystery. Then they bring in the doctor who's near death and tells his story. And then there's the wailing, the roaring monster outside on the ice. That is all very good. But this isn't action beats. There's not like a faster, you dogs.
I mean,
bang, bang, I'm shooting at him.
One could, but the other thing is it also doesn't have the tension, which we've seen in some of the other ones, where it's like there's something in the ice and I know what it is. There's none of that, especially because that's also some of the weakest stuff where you're like, this is a soundstage. Handsome stuff of like, okay, well, they actually went out into the countryside, or for some of these locations and stuff in other parts of the movie, or the woods, and you're like, well, that all looks fine. And then suddenly you're like, Donald Sutherland is definitely on an air-conditioned soundstage.
Yes, he is.
In what looks like a Columbia sportswear coat. I gotta say,
I said the same thing last time. I was like, I can't quite get past how his particular coat looks very modern. I know people who own that one. It's just very strange. That's not a huge thing in the movie, but I was just like going, no, but did he bring his own?
It's indicative of like all of a sudden the budget is completely like they ran out of money for any of the bookend scenes.
Here and there, they're doing some very good period stuff. Like Frankenstein's like traveling like with the little cap, the gun, all the stuff. I'm sitting there going like, oh, that looks great, and I bet that's what Frankenstein the doctor would have looked like doing da-da-da-da. Yeah, but it's like, it's a. Yeah.
But then you come to this stuff, and we talked about the fake beard, which is even more prominent here. I love when he's going through the ice, and it's even faker when they put the snow on it and stuff too.
I know.
And you're like,
I know.
And
holy shit.
More consistency between him being totally fine and dying. It's all over the place in this.
It's all over the place. He's prone, barely speaking. Then for another scene, he's sitting up and speaking very energetically. And then he's at death's door again. Plus the makeup on the creature. And I will assume that the people you always talk up, who are they again?
Is that the K&B effects?
Yes.
Yeah.
The creature looks great. Actually, I do like that they got a very tall, rangy guy who's a very good physical actor. We talked about that. And he is, in this, more sympathetic because we get more of him saying, like, no, I didn't intend. Do you think I enjoyed killing you? Like, okay, great. And he's acting his little heart out.
Oh, because Goss is a good. I think everybody here is a good actor. I do think there's some problems, though. And I actually think it's more on the direction than the writing, though, where it's like
Yeah,
this director
yeah.
can't resist a couple evil villain shots of the monster,
Yeah,
though, where you're like,
yeah.
wait, that kind of undoes the exact thing he
Well,
just
he's
said he
trying to
felt.
sell. He's like, I got to get some adrenaline pumping somewhere in here. But
That's
the whole
and I
thing I
think
was
that's
saying about
kind
the
of a mistake.
makeup,
Yeah.
I think the makeup of the creature is great, but
Yeah.
I think that's all that company did,
Yes.
because they would not have let a beard like that go.
No.
They also would have known this man has traveled around the world,
Yeah.
has barely
Yeah.
eaten or drunk or whatever, and he should look haggard.
Well, and that's
He
something...
has the same length of hair he had in the. He's got
Yeah.
this beard, which is clearly, and they've done nothing to make him look
No.
like I am near death. Like no circles under the eyes, none of that stuff.
I think
So I'm
about
like,
once again, and I know it's like people go like, well, of course that's a major budget film, but like once again, the Branagh version. Not only does he look, his hair is wild and unkempt, and the beard, but also like he's like sunburned, and
well,
like his
you
skin is
get
peeling.
burn.
Like,
It is, yes, it is snow burn because
Yeah,
the
snow
light,
burn, yeah,
the sun bounces off the
And you
snow,
just
and
get
you
the-
will get
you
cooked.
You get the visuals. You actually see less of the literal like step-by-step journey in the Branagh version, but you get
But
more
you
of the
feel
visual.
its effect,
Right.
yeah.
Here when
Like-
it turns into the Zodiac killings and he's leaving notes for his master.
By the way, his father.
His father, yeah, that's right.
I
Father!
thought it was hilarious that when the very first note is he goes to the grave of Elizabeth
Yep.
and William before
Yeah.
he sets off, and I'm like going, if he hadn't looked like just right there in
I
that
know.
it's like, why didn't the creature leave the note on the gravestone? But that's like tucked into a thing.
He really...
on a
The creature
like-
honly lucked out that
he
Frankenstein's
lucked out that
yeah.
Frankenstein's gonna read that note like, oh shit, the chase is on.
Is that any basis from the book? I can't remember. It's been a long time.
No,
The notes aren't a thing. No, they can't be. That's too silly.
No, in the book, essentially what it is she's using the framing device the way it should be.
Yeah.
And essentially after the creature does the worst, which is of course killing Elizabeth. And there's of course the setting up of the maid that's in there. Clerval getting it in this. I'm like them going like, oh man, he's taking everybody. So
I forgot that Clerval died in the book. That is true. That is not. They often leave that out of most of these, though.
Actually, that's not in the book. That was them adding.
That's not in the
body.
book. I thought Clerval did die in the book.
I don't believe so, but it's been a while since I've read it, and I think that's the reason you don't see it in most versions. I think this is them trying to up the body count.
Yeah.
The creature is responsible, sadly, but not on purpose, really, for William's death.
Yeah.
He's responsible, essentially, like in this movie, for the maid getting framed for William's murder.
And we've seen that in most of the versions. Yeah.
Yeah, and he full-on kills Elizabeth because you asked for it, Doc.
Right. Yeah. That is the most like one-to-one
vengeance. Well, they threw in Clerval.
Yeah.
And
poor Dan Stevens, further literally wasted in this now. Really has nothing to do.
Here's a filmmaking thing I can't stand. I'm sorry, I'm all over the map with this. But yeah, in the book, there's basically she never says how they end up in the Arctic, other than the doctor saying, "I have pursued him around the world,"
which is always
full stop. You don't need to know where they started, how they got there,
because it's such a cool, visceral idea to just. It's cooler to imagine. I have been pursuing this thing for years, potentially, to every corner of the world, and it just so happens this is where we're at the end of the world.
Well, you could also, that would be a budgetary thing, but if you were a filmmaker and you wanted to make it cool, no fucking notes, just a quick montage of them.
You know what I
through
did
different
like?
Places in the world.
Yeah, what I did like,
you.
and then they could have kept doing this. I did like him seeing the newspaper and going to the town, like he's following tales of the monster. Where not the monster is
basically baiting him through.
Yeah, instead of literally baiting him, he's just following the trail of destruction. That's better.
I mean, yeah,
that's
when he
an
gets to that
idea.
town, the town people go, "Oh, you're the one." He was basically saying when this dude shows up.
Hey, wait, hey, by any chance are you Frankenstein? He was talking about you a lot.
When he was destroying things here.
And also, wait a minute, hold on, I think he left a note for you here. I got it somewhere. Give me a second.
Oh yes, it has a prominent F on it.
Yeah.
Another thing.
I love that. I love the big F on it. I mean, it's just like now he's just the Riddler.
They're all directed to Frankenstein with a big F. But what I didn't understand was quotation marks around the F. What is that? He's like going Frankenstein, whatever you're calling yourself.
If that is your real name.
If that is your real name.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is the quotes for?
I also once again, trying to imagine the monster sitting there and going like, all right. He writes the note and he's just like, he's not going to get it. I better put an F on here. And that's like, oh, wait, hold on. Let me further draw attention to it with these quotation marks. Yeah.
He's going to be
I always have trouble, and this is in a lot of these adaptations, where the premeditation aspects of the creature are always baffling to me, where they choose to have him like be a mastermind, and other times he just sort of stuff is happening to him. And that's my issues here, is sort of like I on a scene to scene basis, Luke Goss's performance is pretty pitiable, but the writing and directing seem to just like, no, but we need him to be a little bit more villainous at times.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of inconsistent with what the character is being portrayed as.
Luke Goss's voice for this creature is it's a good voice because it's not what you expect.
No, it's I think a lot of people would be like, a lot of people would probably think, it's a little weak, but it's kind of it's a little high and it's kind of soft.
And he's doing a lot where his voice cracks on purpose, and it is just like, it's making him pitiable, and that's fine.
It's a perfect example of what we see sometimes when I'm like, dude, you've put way more thought into this than the rest of the people involved. Like, he's really doing like a technically skilled performance. And
yet he does sell it to some degree when it's necessary. For instance, the famous line where, and I do like the addition of a formality to it, where he goes, "Fine, sir." He's like, "Know this, sir. I will be with you on your wedding night." You're like, "Oh, okay." I like that. It's like, all right, I hate you, but you are my father, and I'm going to address you.
Especially if you think about, he learned how to speak through not just listening to the family, but also through like journals and letters and stuff, right? So there should be a real formality to how he speaks. He should almost be inhuman in the formality of it, right? Like,
yes. They're allowing in this version, which I do respect, whether or not they pulled it off or not, even more than Branagh. Branagh lets the creature. Yeah. Obviously, you've got a great actor.
Yep.
He speaks well. Yeah. But it's still De Niro doing a kind of monster voice, but he is well spoken. Well, you're like, I get it.
The thing I like about De Niro's performance, is we talked about that too, is he like studied stroke victims and things like that, where it's almost like he can speak, but there's a physical deformity to his mouth. He's not put together fully correct, so everything kind of comes out.
There's a slurred mushiness to it.
Strange, but it's like the mind is working, but there's a physical. So that's, once again, always to defend the De Niro performance, which I do, because I really like De Niro in that. But
I'm not anti his performance. I'm anti his casting, because he is a fine actor and he does a good
job. De Niro good at acting. He's crazy,
but he's 5'6", and as good an actor as he has never been an accent guy. He is a New Yorker, and he's doing his best. I know he's working on it in Frankenstein. But he still sounds like Robert De Niro, even though he did all that research. He's still got a New York thing going as the creature, and I'm like, makeup's good, concept is good, performance is good, except for he can't disguise his Robert De Niro-ness.
You built me out of body parts. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. I want a bride.
Yeah,
I want a bride.
Just give me that bride.
Just give me that bride.
Just take a little bit of work, a little bit. Okay,
just want my bride.
Yeah.
You said I get a bride.
Yeah, I believe somebody got a bride here. Well, let's start with diving into this here as it was going, because we do jump forwards and backwards. They do some interesting choices here, because we start with Victor outriding. Last we ended part 1 with the death of William, and something I really didn't like that last shot of evil supervillain looking creature.
Yeah.
And then I like it even less when they don't really delve into that here. They really want to they leave you on this cliffhanger of like, and now I will come for the house of Frankenstein. And then here they pretty quickly back it off to like, well, no, actually it sort of was an accident that he killed William. And it's just like, well, wait a minute, then don't indicate that he's got machinations. Like,
I think again that
they want to have it both ways.
That is the director, and I do think that was an attempt. When you're doing a two-parter, you got to have a hook. And also, I think he really was trying to say, like, guys, the story is horrific. Mainly, the classic Frankenstein story is horrific in its concept and its themes.
Yeah.
But it is not a bloodbath.
No.
And it's a thing where, even in the book, the creature is acting out of spite and hurt.
Yeah.
So it's not a thing of I am evil. It is literally not even the 1931 movie tried to like, let's amp it up by having an abnormal brain put in the body. That's not from the book at all.
And we've always talked about, though, that like while they put that in there, Karloff really never played it that way.
No, he played him like a stumbling child who doesn't understand why people hate him.
As much as I love the whale movie, I've always thought like, he probably could have just cut that, because that doesn't actually play into the plot.
No, but it's an indication of like, he could have had the brain of a brilliant scientist, but instead he's got some screwed up criminal brain.
Yeah.
Well, he's not really a criminal. He just doesn't know that throwing a girl in a lake is going to drown her.
Right, which that would be the case if the brain was just damaged or something. It didn't have to be that it was
or it's literally a blank slate because you've brought someone back from the dead.
And we've seen that. We've seen that with one of the Hammer movies. Or I think it was the first Hammer movie did that, right? Where he's like, I'm going to put this genius guy's brain in, and it's like,
and then they're like, oh wait, he's still an idiot.
It doesn't matter because I just jammed someoning brain into the skull, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
He still has to learn how to walk and eat and do all that.
I like the thinking of that, but it was abnormal. That's always what I think.
I know.
Abnormal. The Victor Frankenstein, boy, Alec Newman, who I think is doing a fine job, but pretty much and I guess that's true for the Victor character, but there's just be bummed for the next 88 minutes of screen time, please.
Bummed, and then
forgets. When we get to the wedding and stuff, it's like, dude, did you forget everything that happened?
This is very much like, I will say, this is shared amongst many of the versions, including Branagh.
Oh yeah.
Though with Branagh as an actor, again, the guy is tops. So the whole thing
hot take.
Yeah, I know, hot take. The idea that you would. And in the book, it's very well illustrated about he hasn't forgotten. Mm-hmm. He is generally living in hope and denial. Like, I did create him, but he's never going to touch me again. It's he's out there, or I hope he dies.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of like, I can have a normal life now. Me and Elizabeth, and I'm just putting it behind me. It was a terrible nightmare. And then, of course, it's like the creature won't let him forget and comes back.
But like here they have it literally where he's like, "I will be with you on your wedding night," and then
he's like going, "Let's get married."
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're just like, "What you idiot?" I mean, that's the thing where it's like, I don't even feel bad now because this is your own goddamn fault.
We do see his thinking where he's like, he sends out two carriages.
Yeah.
As he's got a plan. He goes to
they could have gone harder into that though, with like really play him as a paranoiac. Really, and also make it more that Elizabeth is pushing for the wedding.
Creature that sets up his own decoy. I mean, that is just like, what the fuck?
These two guys are just in this dance of death with each other, man. They are really. Oh, think you've got me? Well, check this out. I'm 10 steps ahead.
a lot of problems I have with like these tweaks where it is padding, where it's like I want to add something to the classic story because I've got all this time to fill. So they add things like I don't like movies where unless Victor Frankenstein is our character, as in he is the audience surrogate, we should not be seeing his visions. I hate that.
Yeah.
That is such an
and
old
also,
trope.
It's an old trope, and it's so TV in its visuals
It's
here.
Very TV.
When we get the ghost of Elizabeth at the end, I went, fucking hell.
Well, see, I don't. Okay, the one and only place, and I wouldn't even do it as a vision. I would just have him responding to her. We wouldn't see her.
Yeah.
Is the man's on his deathbed having delusions?
But
I'm fine.
But no, that's fine. But it
tries to give us nightmares.
That is a TV effect, is what I'm talking about with that ghost specifically. The nightmares here. Where he's
because we're in his brain and we're seeing him have these visions. I don't want that shit.
Yeah, but I want to get to the Clairville thing. But let's. So he's out riding and he's all depressed, and he finds William's kite that William had been flying when he got killed. And he's all, and then they're like, "Come quick! They found who did it. It was the servant girl." Now here's another problem I have with this. The servant girl has not been a character really up to this point.
No, she had like a couple lines in the first one, like, "Oh, that scamp of a dog."
And so it's like, if you're gonna make the grand tragedy of part of it is the creature frames this woman and is going to be killed, that woman needs to be a character who has some impact on the characters. Because all of a sudden they're going, "There's no way she did it. We love her. She's like part of the family."
Oh man, again, that's where I was sitting there going like, dude, I see the strain, Mr. Screenwriter, of you going like, I got another 88 minutes to fill. We're going to see the Frankensteins. And by the way, this doesn't work for your story. Even in the book, again, this is kind of there, but not to this extent where it's like, why do we need to follow Victor and his father into the offices of the police, fighting for her freedom, and then getting turned down, and then questioning her? Did they force a confession out of you?
You think she didn't kill you? Well, how about this? She stole this necklace.
Yeah, we got this police corruption subplot. I'm like, this is not necessary.
And then they'll do it all again when Clairville dies.
And it also they do. And also, I will say, doesn't say much for the Frankensteins, who are basically, they're sub-royalty, that the local police won't just basically say, "Oh, you vouch for her and you say that she didn't do it? Okay."
I did think that too, because I'm like, why is this guy so dead set on hanging this woman when literally the family of her supposed victim is going, "She didn't do it." It's like, all right, is that even corruption? He's just evil, right? Like there's no even gain for him in killing this woman.
Other than just like quieting public fear and making himself look like a good cop.
There we did. See, we did it. There.
No one gets away with murder.
And I know, forensics is in its infancy to basically be non-existent, but like, when we see what happened, when we see what happened to William, it's very poorly done. Yeah. But like, basically, he had like the life crushed out of him.
Yeah, and we do see marks on his neck. So I guess.
So you're like, that little woman did that to him.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. Even so, you got to wonder what's up with the cop, because the only thing and he makes her confess. Yeah. So we get that. But so all he has is she had the locket.
Yeah.
He knows that little woman could not have basically smothered and probably crushed the neck of a little boy.
But also, that kid goes down easy, though, when we see it later. It took nothing.
That is one of the creepiest things you've ever said on this podcast.
I'm just saying, and I know
anybody could kill that kid. I could have killed that kid.
Well, the way it's portrayed later when we hear the creature side of it, I understand. Like, it's Hallmark Channel; they don't really want to show the death of a child in any kind. I'm not looking for like grisly graphic stuff, but it really is. There's no like neck cracking sound. There's nothing. No. It seems like he just put this hand over the kid's face, and the kid just died instantly. Is how it's portrayed.
That's the way it gets filmed.
It's one of those things where it's like. Right. If you're going to maybe just don't show it then. Like, that's one of those things where it's like, if you're not going to if that's too grim Just
you
leave
could
it
have
out.
literally
Leave it
just,
out.
I mean,
Yeah.
but again, this is a two-parter that's trying to fill 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Because most versions will have the creature say, I did not mean to, I was trying to silence the
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
boy. I thought we would be friends or something
Yeah,
like that.
and that's fine. I understand that.
And that's fine
yeah.
because the implications when they come across the little boy's corpse, that is much more disturbing. So you don't need to actually show what may have happened.
This is a case where I'm actually not being a gorehound and going like, just finding the dead kid is disturbing enough. But then also, if you're gonna show the murder, it needs to be a little bit more disturbing than nothing.
Yeah, you need to go
because
literally
I backed it up and went like, where did he kill him? How did he? Okay, because they kind of imply it's a smothering, but you're like, he doesn't fully put his hand over his mouth. That's anyway. But she confessed, and I like that the policeman's like, it was not a coerced confession. Cut to them tie the string. She goes, they totally coerced me into doing that.
So basically, this poor lady is framed, and she's going to be hung. The only little ray of sunshine is that Victor and the family don't believe it at all, and Victor's like going, I do believe you, and I'm trying to get you out of here. Well, you didn't do such a good job there, Vic.
No, did a shit job, man.
She gets hung.
She gets hung, and both Victor and the creature are there. The creature being there is interesting, but also it's very silly because it's all of a sudden he's there.
Yes.
And even he's like, when they hang the woman, even the creature's like, ooh, that's not nice.
Talking about an unearned kind of moment for the creature, and it is based in what you were saying about you've got to build up. Is it Josette or whatever? I don't know the name of the maid.
That's a problem. Is Justine? I think it does start with a J.
Okay, right. Justine, right.
I think it does start with a J, yeah.
But the whole thing about after the hanging, the creature comes back and lowers her body and lays her on the ground, takes the hood off, and basically says, I'm so sorry.
Sorry about
you didn't deserve this. You are so beautiful. And then he walks off with the body. Which, of course, in anyone's brain, they're going.
I knew exactly where this was going.
Yeah, you think that he's going to bring the body of the maid to Frankenstein.
Didn't we see that in at least one version? I feel like
at least one of the Hammers, I believe,
does do that.
Yes, that the body that he wants to be turned into the bride is that of
I think that works. Like, I think that's actually a thing where you're like, oh yeah, that like in terms of taking this novel and turning it into a more streamlined screenplay, that makes sense to me.
Instead, he just walks off of the body. We never know what the hell happens there.
I think I don't want to know what happens there.
Yeah, that's probably it. Because no, that is not what happens. But he does confront his creator after the public execution.
Yeah.
And he basically leads him on a little trail, and out in the some of those location shots, I'm like, that does look like that could be.
Oh no, this is
Switzerland.
This is the first of his Riddler-esque things. He gets into the house, and Victor is. He doesn't lead. He leads him there because Victor's asleep, and the monster's just like he just slides a little map under his hand, and then walks out of the house, and Victor Wade's just like, this is where the monster wants to meet me. I just went, what?
I know. That doesn't make any sense plot-wise. It's like, if you're sneaking into the house, why don't you just tap him on the forehead and go, wake up, let's talk.
Meet me tomorrow behind a big tree, you know?
Yeah, I will be on a rock.
Yeah, this is it. Because literally, it's just a map, and there's like a circle. It's like, I will be here.
Yep. But he knows exactly what that is, by the way.
And so this is where he's getting his pistol ready, and it's go time. No.
And then it is 18 minutes.
Yep.
18 minutes of Victor Frankenstein on his horse, wandering around going, is that him? And him calling out, I know you're there.
Yep.
And I keep going, and we keep seeing the creature is following and watching. You're like, couldn't you just the first time you see him go, you found me, let's talk.
Especially if you don't have the thing to do that, because I do love that shot in Brana where he swoops down with the it's very comic booky once again. It's
Oh,
like,
you love you a cape scene.
oh, yeah, like I'm the only one on this show who loves a cape scene.
I will say with Frankenstein's creature, I do like this whole design, but I never associate him with cloaks. So every time he would swirl that cloak, I was like, yeah, that just doesn't seem like you, man.
Once
But
again, it's always one of those things where it's like when they ask Brana to do Thor and people go like, really? It's like, dude, you been watching this stuff? This dude's a comic book guy. Like, he loves that
this
shit.
guy loves a swirling cloak.
Loves that stuff, man.
Yep. But apparently doesn't love a winged helmet.
I don't think that was him specifically.
Probably not.
No.
But I bet there were discussions. Do we give him the helmet or not?
Yeah. And they do in some scenes.
For 5 seconds.
A couple of scenes.
And then the last movie.
Yeah. So they get their, which is, as we talked about, is a pretty good scene and a fairly decent location in the ruins of this castle or whatever, fort or something. And I do like the way Alec Newman plays this too as Frankenstein. When the creature starts talking, he's like, my God, you can speak, like, oh, you've advanced further. You're not what I was expecting. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that too. I mean, this whole scene is they go places, meaning the two actors get to go places. There is an almost attempt.
I understand.
The monster is trying to bond. And he honestly is.
It's maybe the only moment where I completely understand the points of both characters. Like, I understand what both of them are saying, the arguments, because he's going, I am sorry I ever gave you life. You are a monster I unleashed on this world. And he's going like, well, you made me and then abandoned me. You cursed me to this lonely existence. And I'm going like, oh, look, character motivation in this thing.
Yes.
Well, that's for the first and last time, man.
It's like, enjoy it while you got it. Here's a little bit of
because
character.
I'm going to spend the rest of this going, I don't know what this guy's deal is. And then, yes, he does tell the story about, I didn't want to kill William. And this is, once again, padding. Do we then need to flash back to, and here's it's a Rashomon story, right? And here's the monster's perspective of what happened.
Yes.
And so, he tells him about that. I'm not sure we needed that flashback. And then he's like, oh, and then I didn't know what to do, and I found the servant girl sleeping in the barn, so I put the locket I stole in there, which always felt like a weird move for the creature. And I know that's like just the idea about being like, oh, wait, let me frame up this girl.
It's a weird bit.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff which is like, when you're adapting the material, there are pitfalls of all these things, and it's always fascinating to me because there are just things, the book isn't perfect. As great as the book is, it's a classic. But there are little things in there that when you're doing the faithful adaptation, it's like, you do need to address some of the holes in the book. It's like, otherwise you're just going to have the same problems as the book. The book is,
and you can see, you can literally see the writer here attempting to patch things up, but the problem is that the solutions that the writers come up with aren't great.
Because here they make it here they really turn it into this, like, I found this girl and I was like, oh shit, here's a desperate frame up.
Yeah,
and you're like, that's a weird thought for this creature to have.
The heat off me, and you're like,
it's just a weird thought for the creature to have. Like,
yep.
And so then this is where he's saying, he's like, now, hey man, you want this to all end? How about this? Let's make a deal. All right. I'm Monty Hall. Let's make a deal. He says. I thought, really weird choice.
And you dress as a little Dutch boy. Perfect.
Get Elizabeth to dress up as an ear of corn, and we're gonna have something to talk about.
I now really want to see that actress dressed up as an ear of corn. Oh, it didn't happen.
I would actually say she's not bad, but there's just nothing for Elizabeth to do, so she makes no impression.
She's the sweetest human of all time.
Yeah,
she has to be an angelic figure, so that and she's trying to share her heart and soul and life with this guy. So when she dies, that's the whole thing. Is so you see this innocent killed.
Yeah.
And it does have an impact here only because she's impossibly sweet. So obviously you're like, God damn, he killed her.
Nicole Lewis is this actress, and this is basically the only thing she ever did.
Yeah,
so,
I looked that up.
She
really just vanished.
Did an episode of Marple, and then pretty much nothing. So I do think that, I mean, and once again, she's not bad. I don't think anyone could be good or bad in this part, really. Like, it's just, as you bring up, it's such a one-note performance. But it is interesting that she is everybody else here is like a real pro, and then there's kind of her who's just kind of here.
I will say Baron Frankenstein, they never call him Baron Frankenstein, he's just Dad.
Yeah.
He's acting, but he is all over the map. He's crazed some minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's unrealistically like, well, my family's dying around me, but why don't you go out there and have a picnic with Elizabeth and Henry?
I will say he also does not have a ton of credits.
Well, okay, but then he gets that crazy scene, which is pretty good. As in,
but also there, as you talk about, yes, when he tells like
goes,
Victor,
death is following you like the devil, and he's
but
like,
also there's no build up to that scene.
There's no build up. That's why I'm saying it's all over the map. Yeah, it just hits you suddenly, and you're like, God damn.
I don't know that that's his fault as much as the script just being like, because. Yeah, when we get to the wedding, he's like, "Oh my boy!" I'm like, "Didn't your son just die horribly?" I understand you might be a little excited about this, but it feels like there'd be a dampering because
he's like, "Yes, yes, yes." Then he starts tapping his glass. Kiss the bride! Ha ha ha!
Yes, my son was murdered. And my beloved house servant was falsely accused and executed for it. But look at my boy!
Look at my boy!
Yeah, sometimes he's very much the James Whale Baron Frankenstein, who is always just boozed up and jovial.
To the house of Frankenstein.
By the way,
and then he gets this Oscar scene that has no build-up, where he basically tells his son to fuck off because there's no one else here for him to kill. You're like, wow, Jesus!
It's also one of the other good moments from the screenplay in this.
I agree.
Is when the guy's going, listen, what do you hear? Silence.
There's
no one left to die. And I'm like, that's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
By the way. His character is credited as Alphonse Frankenstein.
Okay.
Is that right? I don't remember them ever calling him that, but okay.
I mean, to tell you the truth, maybe in the book he is Baron Alphonse Frankenstein. Baron's just his title.
But I do like the idea. It's like, how you doing, Al Frankenstein of the Frankensteins? It's me, Al Frankenstein.
Al Frankenstein, famous writer for SNL, and also became a senator.
Yeah. So that was he was born Al Frankenstein, and he thought that could be bad for the comedy career.
It's just like Albert Brooks is Albert Einstein.
Why did he change that?
I have no idea. Why would you ever?
Yeah. So the deal he makes is, if he builds him a wife, basically, he'll disappear to, the furthest ends of the world, and it'll all
This is the classic story.
Yep.
It is like, look, he goes, you made me to where I cannot blend in the real world. I have no place.
Yeah.
So you make me a bride, so I will not be alone.
Yeah.
And the two of us will go away.
Yeah.
You will never see us.
Yeah.
And this is a thing where, and in the book, it is a thing here too, where had he done it, everything would have been, possibly okay.
Yeah, I mean, I take the monster at his word that he probably would have at least attempted to get out of society.
Yeah.
Who knows what would have happened,
not essentially or intrinsically evil. He just keeps being pushed to stuff. And Frankenstein is the guy who breaks his promise because I can't do this again. It's an affront to God. And that's basically the creature going, okay, great. I'm going to kill everything that made you happy.
I like the version. We've seen a couple of versions. I think it's an interesting idea that he can't do it again. Like literally he can't figure out how to do it again. I always think we've seen a couple versions where it's that, and I think that's interesting. And then of course,
that's interesting. Here it's on purpose.
He's
on purpose. Going, I burned my journal, and so I don't even have my original notes.
I do really like, once again, the Brana version, or even a little bit the Bride of Frankenstein, where it's like he does create it, and that thing is not okay.
No, it's not okay.
That's an interesting take on it too, where it's like, oh right,
because women, am I right, John? Am I
bitches
right?
Be crazy, man.
I'm an edgy comic.
I just this one really feels that, once again, that's the whole thing with this thing, is like it really pads and then it skips over really important stuff. Like he puts together this other body real quick. And then also real quick is like, yeah, no, I can't do this. And that's all in like one scene. And you're like, whoa, that needs to be where we zero in on how he's feeling right now.
I mean, I think one of the reasons it ended up not being the maid's body is that there is a stretch of time here that she would have rotted.
Sure.
But also they need to put in another grave digging scene. So we get another one of those where he's out there pulling up parts.
Well, this is where he ropes Henry into it too, which because Dan Stevens' basically whole part before he is just murdered is to be like, I don't know about this.
Yeah,
this seems crazy.
Very good. Yeah, that is exactly what happens here.
I'm about to have a better career than you.
What's not so great is again with how long this movie is trying to fill is we get 2 scenes. Luckily, they're not too drawn out. No, but 2 scenes where he confronts the loved ones, Henry and Elizabeth, and tells them the truth.
Yeah. Well,
and so
you get the first one where he tries to tell Elizabeth the truth, and she's like, let's get married, and then you'll tell me the whole thing.
Right.
And I do like, he's like, I'm not sure you're going to want to marry me after you hear what I was up to.
Seriously, there's bodies and shit.
This is pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm not proud of what I did.
I did some stuff.
He
does just keep going like, I did some real bad stuff. Real bad.
He's like, why aren't you your funny old self that I used to love? Well, I did some shit.
So, he and and of course he returns to Ingolstadt, and he set up the lab. Somehow William Hurt gets word that he set up the lab because he's knocking at the door, going, "Don't you do it, Victor!"
Yeah.
Hey, you in there? You making bodies again? Stop it! That's basically what the first scene with William Hurt is. He's just like, hey, knock it off in there.
It is odd because he comes in and what little bird told him, and then he just shows up like, oh, I got the Frankenstein signal. I saw it flashing in the sky. And now he comes and it's
son of a bitch, he's at it again.
It's an F in quotation marks.
Yes, of course it is.
And he shows up and he's like going, oh no, you're not doing it again, are you?
Oh no,
this is bad. Don't do it.
Don't you do it. All right, bye. Because later they'll have a bigger confrontation scene. But
and he goes, "Oh, I made a big mistake with you."
That's the later scene. He's like, "I never should have inspired you." And once again, William Hurt doing solid work because the guy was an amazing actor. But this one really did feel like, let's get him in 2 scenes because Hurt's like, I better get residuals on part 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I better get some pay for this.
And I support that.
Well, because William Hurt is great, obviously. Look, I mean, the same thing with Donald Sutherland. If he worked 2 days on this thing, probably.
Donald Sutherland gets a good line.
Yeah, I mean, Donald Sutherland, great. Once again, these are guys who just couldn't be bad.
Yeah, there is that.
They're always going to be good.
Cannot be bad thing.
So they're out collecting bodies, Henry and Victor. And, of course, you do get Henry going, and I had to write this down. It's like, Victor, you have to stop. You are not God. Do you get what they're getting at here? I'm not sure. It's pretty subtle, but...
Yeah.
It's just like... and every time they have a line like this in here, I'm just like, oh, God, here we go again.
Yeah.
I get it, you guys. Do this.
The line I'm talking about for Donald Sutherland is he gets one pretty cool confrontation scene with the creature at the very end.
Yeah. I was actually surprised. Thought, okay, all right, they're gonna give Donald Sutherland a little bit of something to do here.
Yeah, and basically, he goes, he was your father, he made you, and he goes, but he made me like this, and that's why, and he abandoned me. And then Donald Sutherland's like, Christ, was never abandoned by his father. And then the creature goes, well, his father loved him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a pretty good bit.
That is.
And
good.
I'm like, all right, I know we're constantly going back to the whole, they're hammering Mary Shelley's themes home about you are not God, you are man, and you are not meant to dabble in this. And
that line in isolation would work if it wasn't the 18th line connecting this to God and his creations. And
you got to pick your battles, and you got to pick your zingers. Where it's like, that is, if they had done that one line, it would have been very powerful. Instead, it's like, well, that is the 20th time someone's mentioned Frankenstein is not God. He should not have done it all.
Yeah, pick like 2 of those lines to keep in your final script.
We're gonna give you 2.
Yeah, we're gonna a couple.
We're gonna let you go with
sure.
The 2.
I understand that's what's in there, and that's fine. But like, it just keeps punching you in the face with this stuff. So
because this is the theme. So the theme always has to be underlined and highlighted.
That's what I was taught about screenwriting. So Victor's sewing this woman's body together, and I do like the monster poking his head and being like, knock, knock, how's it going in here?
Yeah, how's it going in there?
Yeah, he does.
And then he likes it a lot.
Oh, he takes a look and he's like, nice.
She's beautiful.
Nice. Up top. Yeah, he's just like, all right, yeah, this will do.
If part one's, theme was fuck around and find out, this one is up top.
Yeah, he is just like, oh, this'll do. This'll do just fine. Mm-hmm. And so Victor
we are so gonna disappear into the wilds of the world, if you know what I mean.
That's what they're saying though, because Victor's like continuing his work, and the monster's going like, I found us a place. I just put a down payment on a house.
But it's a house in a cave.
It's gonna
no one's ever gonna find
it's gonna be pretty sweet. But it's when he talks about, and then our children, and then that's when Victor's like, oh no.
Right, because Henry had also, when he found out the truth, he's like going, my God, are you seriously going to give him a mate? He goes, you're going to unleash more of that evil on the world? What about if they have kids?
Yeah, that's a gigantic jump, though, to think that they could procreate, right? Like, I'm going to need some evidence on that.
I'm going to want to see the tape. That's my own thing.
But I did think about, like, we're just assuming that, like, everything works. Yeah. And I mean, on both ends, you're going to assume, number one.
He brought the body back, but is he able to create sperm? And is he able to create sperm? She has a fertile womb?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Listeners to our podcast, if you know the answers, will you let us know?
Send us some of your doctoral thesis about whether or not a reanimated corpse can reproduce. They bring it up twice to the point, and just with the assumption of, that's what's going to happen. There's going to be like a bunch of these weird little dead creatures running around. You're like, I'm going like, I'm not super worried about that.
I think the only movie that really addressed that is, I think, I, Frankenstein, which we haven't seen yet, and it does, I think its original working title was I, Frankenstein, and I Fuck.
I thought it was I, Frankenstein, You, Jane.
Oh, my God.
Well, I will say that Frankenstein does fuck, because he is cut.
Oh, he's crazy cut.
Oh, God, yeah, that is a
much better actor than should be in a movie like that.
Yeah, that is a real bummer, because I do think Eckhart's an excellent actor.
Who doesn't like Aaron Eckhart?
He's great, man. He's talking about, he goes, I'm not sure I can make this work. Because I do like the monster, of course, getting impatient. He's like, well, when are you going to bring it to life? It's like, well, there's a couple things where he goes, no, you bring it to life now. It's like, all right, man, just fucking cool it.
But what's interesting about this is that I don't know why Frankenstein is gaslighting him, as the kids like to say all the time now, but he literally is.
The kids who love that 1940s film.
Yeah, they can't get enough of it. But the whole thing, oh man, it is good. Anyway, sorry, I went down a little.
It is actually really good.
Yeah, but you know, Angela Lansbury, was she ever bad? Ever?
No, I don't think she was.
Okay, but the whole thing of
I can confirm. I've done the math. No,
Frankenstein basically says like, yeah, I need a couple of things, and the creature's like, you got everything you need, and then finally Frankenstein in the same scene goes, you know what? I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I burned my journal.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Oh, that made me laugh too when he goes, I already burned my journal. And the monster goes over to the fireplace and he's just going like, well, get it out of there.
Save it.
Get it out. It's like he literally just burned it? Like,
I guess so.
Yeah, because it's just like, get it out of there, man.
Get out of there. Get back to work.
That's going to be important. They're going to publish that shit, right?
And he's like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It's an abomination.
Yeah,
you're an abomination.
But that's the thing is, this scene doesn't have much impact because it does sort of feel like he's just like, yeah, all right, I just hit the wall right now. I can't. Yep. It doesn't, there's no build up to this. This is where, why aren't you spending your time here, movie? What are you doing? It's just, it's the weirdest, like, the structuring of this, the pacing of this, like I said, the thing that really baffles me about this script is like, this is the moment you chose to highlight?
Right.
And that's what really gets me. That's what frustrates me about this, because there is good work being done here, but then there's just weird choices.
Yeah.
And we've run into that on a lot of stuff where you just go like, but why did you do that?
But why? Why was that your... Oh.
Yeah, you're like, you were on the right track there, but then over here, what are you doing? And so then this is, he lights the body on fire. He grabs it. They kind of grapple about the journal, and then Frankenstein tosses a torch onto the body, and he's burning it, and the monster, of course, freaks out, as you would expect, before, as I wrote, scurrying across a roof. He says I will be with you on your wedding night, and then you watch him scurry across a roof.
Well, the reason he scurries across the roof is essentially he realized, if I'm going to be at the wedding night, I need a tux. There's only one place that's still open. And it's like, I got to get to that place before it closes.
Because he's got to go to the big and tall one, too, right? So it's like, I got to get that. It's going to be a while on the tailoring, so it's going to be a second there.
Man. You know those Ingolstadt. No, that's right.
They're in Ingolstadt at this point, yeah.
Yeah, they do keep bouncing back between wherever.
They got so much to do before the wedding.
I got so much to do. And bachelor parties on me too, right? Because I'm the kid. I'm your son. I got to set that up, right? Is it me or Henry? You tell me.
One of the things that always gets me, and once again, there are just certain hurdles if you're telling this story for me to buy the motivations of the characters, is if you already burn this body, then just fucking kill the monster while you're at it. And either
he does try. He takes that knife and stabs him.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's just sort of, they need to either explain to me that the monster, they need to make it clear to me the monster either can't die or some part of Victor is unwilling to fully destroy it.
Yeah,
and they
go either
just
way.
Don't highlight either one of those very well in this, and that's always the thing that gets me.
Yeah. No, that's solid.
Yeah, so Henry shows up and he's like, "Hey, man, so you burning a body?" And he's just like, will you help me with this? And the two of them are now carrying a corpse out of his lab.
Well, here's the thing. He doesn't actually ask Henry, will you help me with this? What he says is, will you fill some time with me? Yeah. He basically looks at Henry and goes, we've got like 12 minutes.
Yeah, this is...
So we got to be disposing of this
Hallmark says they need this
body.
Thing to be exactly 88 minutes to fill commercial time. So
yeah, so they go out in the lake to dispose of the body, or
I don't understand this. This also is just this whole scene is weird because they're like, all right, help me get this in the body in the boat. Now you, Henry, you go back home. I'm just gonna drag this thing out into the water.
Yeah, he does go like, God, this is on me.
This goes on forever.
It does. And he's like, we'll take care of it. I'm going to take care of it. I don't want you to be any more involved.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, well, when this is all over and it's all done, going to have a big old bottle of champagne ready for you because I'm your pal. And then the
hope
next
nothing
day,
happens to me. Well, so it's not. It's you see Frankenstein go out in the water, and then another boat goes by, and he has to like sink down. And go, oh no!
I know. It's just.
And then
I'm filling.
It's morning when he gets back. Yeah. He just rode out into the lake a little bit, and somehow it's now daylight.
Yes,
because he comes back, and the cops are there going like, "Oi, what are you doing?"
Yeah, and they're like, he gets. When he gets back home, the cops are waiting for him.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to have to arrest you on suspicion of murder. And he's like, what? No, you don't understand. See, I'm a medical student. Like, he was about to talk about the body.
Yeah.
And they're like going, no, it was Henry Clerval that's been murdered. And he's like, what? No.
Yeah.
No, the creature. No.
And why did the creature kill Henry?
Because he said he was going to destroy anything that brought Frankenstein joy,
I guess
including his friend.
But he mainly focused on the threat about the wedding night. That's the thing that got me. Is like, I will be with you on your wedding night. Hey, wait, there's Henry though. Let me just take him out real quick.
Yeah, as long as he's there. Oh, you like him, right?
Yeah.
Well, now he's dead.
And then talk about more padding. Cut to now Frankenstein's in jail for that murder, and you're like, wait a minute, what? Why are we? Oh, for the love of God, we're just gonna screw around, aren't we?
I got a question for you, John.
Yeah.
Did you ask for any of this?
I asked for none of this.
Then who asked for it? Because I didn't either. Jesus.
I couldn't. When they go to prison, I'm like, oh, please tell me when this is going to turn into a trial or something now. It doesn't, because even further proving how much this is padding, they just go, actually, Elizabeth showed up and you're all cool. Yep. What did she say?
Apparently, she has more power than the Frankensteins. She didn't speak up for that poor maid, but she can get Victor off.
His father comes to see him, and they go, Elizabeth told him everything, and now you're free to go. I'm like, told him everything about what? Henry Clerval was still murdered by someone.
You know what I think? And the implication is, I bet she went in and provided a fake alibi and said, no, we were boning all night. Because we're going to get married.
He was giving it
to
me hard.
Oh, well, of course. Well, if he was doing that,
yeah,
then he couldn't have been murdered.
Get some, Victor.
Yeah, the cops not only let him free, they start sort of elbowing him, going, good on you.
No stuff.
Good on you.
Yeah.
By the way, we invited you to that wedding.
We'll
be with you on your wedding night.
You know it.
And Victor's like, who is not going to be?
And by the way, that
wedding?
is the classic dulcet tones of the Ingolstadt accent. Yeah, that's right. We're from Ingolstadt.
It was slightly jarring that the police captain, the corrupt one, is actually speaking in a German accent.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whoa, guys, you either go all in
or
none.
That's my it's not my issue with William Hurt's accent specifically. It's just my issue. He's the only one doing
He's the only one. Yeah.
Just like
whoa. Yeah, I'm Austrian and here's the way I'm talking.
Do you think William Hurt showed up and goes, I don't understand. Why is no one else doing an accent?
Yeah, he's like, no one else gonna join me on this?
Yeah, come on, accents are fun, you guys. I think that was a famous William Hurt quote.
Yeah,
accents are fun.
Is actually the only book he wrote about acting.
Accents
are fun.
Accents are fun with that famous jokester William Hurt. He was such a lark.
He really was.
So Victor is cleared, and the monster watches him leave the prison, and to go home. And I don't know how to read his reaction. Was he hoping he would go down for this murder? They play it like he's like, damn.
Yeah, it's a weird.
It's like that wasn't the vengeance he promised her. Anyway, now we get a dream sequence of Henry's murder.
Dream sequence? Yeah, we don't need this.
This is insane. He dreams that he's out in a boat, and he sees Henry on the dock waving at him. And he's like, no, the monster's behind you. Then he sees the creature
come up behind him.
And you get Dan Stevens having to go like, whoa, what?
Yep.
And then he's swimming. It's the classic anxiety dream where he's swimming in the water, but he's not moving forward and he can't get there as the monster kills him. And then it was a dream, but he really is asleep in a boat. That made me laugh. Like, wait, what? His fiance gets him out of prison, and he's like, "Hold on, honey, you head on home. I'm just gonna drift out into the lake in a boat." Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's when the father's like, "Damn, you'd think he'd be all excited about his upcoming wedding," and he's like, "Go cheer him up."
And then here's where you really get. This is where I'm most related, because this is what I'm up to most days. He's just sitting up against a tombstone in a cemetery, cleaning his pistol.
I mean, how many of us haven't spent those long afternoons just sitting there cleaning the pistol at the gravesite?
Yep. And then I like when Elizabeth comes up and is like, "Victor," and he quickly like puts the gun in his bag.
I know.
I didn't have
wasn't
a gun.
doing anything.
Yeah, I just hanging out here in the cemetery for totally normal reasons.
No, I was just masturbating. Wasn't playing with a gun. Don't want you to think I was playing with a gun.
No.
Totally whacking it.
I would have loved it so much if someone used the term "whacking it" in this movie. Oh, Victor, what are you doing in there? Whacking it?
I like the idea that he would use that as anything is more acceptable than what he was actually doing. Just playing with a gun. I was furiously masturbating.
That's right.
Nothing else.
Yeah, because we know we of course know Elizabeth hates guns. I guess. I don't know.
She freaks out at the.
But she does. This is where she's like, "Hey, are you having an affair or something? Because like you've been really sullen and distant." It's like, no. How could you even think such a thing? It's so much worse.
It is.
That's basically what he says. And this is where she goes like, "Well, if you still want to marry me, I don't need to hear about it now. Then."
Yeah, and
as long as it's not another lady, then it can wait, probably, right? And he's like, "I don't know. It's pretty fucked up."
It's all right. How do you feel about corpses? You know what? We'll wait till the wedding night to talk about it.
Anyway, cut to they're married. They get married.
They get married, and it's a wonderful wedding. Everyone's happy.
And everybody's dancing around, but Victor keeps seeing ghosts and shit.
Oh, man. Don't with the visions.
He sees a vision of his dead brother at the wedding, and then we hear the audio of, "Remember, I'll be with you on your wedding night."
Because audiences are stupid and they forget things after 8 minutes.
15 minutes ago that line was said, and I was like, "Oh, right."
No, but I was confused as to, wait, who's going to be with him on his wedding night?
Here's the thing, though. If I'm Victor Frankenstein, all right?
Yeah.
And
famously you're not, but keep going.
Yeah, no, it's well established I'm not. But this monster says, "I'm going to be with you on your wedding night." Step one, I'm staying in the home where I can fortify most easily. Come and get me.
Sure. Or you're going to send Elizabeth away and not get married.
Well, that's the other thing is maybe
her because you know she's going to be the target.
By the way, that would be the biggest move is what wedding night? I never got married. Balls in your court, jackass.
Oh man. I wish he had called him a jackass. That would have been cool.
You come on out and show your face, jackass.
I'm not even whacking it right now.
This is all excerpts from my new take on Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Hey,
it is a take.
Hey, jackass. What do you like? Made a dead body punch, you fucking jackass.
Angry, vaguely New Yorkish take.
Hey,
on the classic tale. Oh my God, I'm crying over here.
that one, De Niro will fit better in it.
He would totally fit better. And I would enjoy it more than The Irishman. No,
Martin Scorsese's Frankenstein.
It should have happened.
Man, I would have loved that, actually. He's a big horror fan. I know he always talks about when he loves Hammer movies. He's never really... I mean, I think Cape Fear is probably as close to anything as he's made that's like horror.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah. I think he's also a guy who's like, as much as he loves it, I think he's probably a guy who's like, I don't really have a monster movie in me, maybe.
I mean, you can love something and just go, but I'm the wrong guy for that.
Yeah. I do think that sometimes about stuff myself where I'm like, I don't really need to play in that genre as much as I enjoy it.
Right.
So they leave on their honeymoon. Everything seems great, of course, but yeah, he's tried to Victor Frankenstein's trying to outthink the monster, who's 10 steps ahead, though.
He has literally, to borrow a Rob Lowe, he has come up with this plan to fake him out with the, I'm sending off 2 carriages.
Yeah.
So which one am I in? Ho, 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 it's a shell game. And I'm going to a hotel that no one's heard of.
He hired
random
those lookalikes.
Yep. Yes.
We call this the Saddam play.
Victor himself is dressed as Elizabeth. Elizabeth is dressed as Victor.
That actually has nothing to do with subterfuge. That's just a kinky sex game they're into.
He's there were a lot of things I was going to tell you on our wedding night, and this is one of them.
This is one of them. We have to
dress as Lincoln.
Yeah, I like to dress like a woman, and I'm only sexually attracted to you if you're dressed like me. Not a man specifically, me. Like, not a man in general, me specifically. That's
that one wearing this terrible fake beard?
Yep.
Yeah, and we're not even to Act 3 yet.
I'm thinking about growing it, and I want to test it on you.
Yeah, I'm testing on you. Why does it have all these white little clods of paper glued to it?
Well,
because I'll probably be cold at some point.
Yeah, I might be going to the Arctic. Brendan, I'm going to take a quick werewolf break, and I'll be right back.
I'll be right here.
Yeah, all right. Give me a second. So we're back to the thrilling conclusion of Frankenstein. What's going to happen? All right, here's another thing. And
I've got a good idea what's going to happen because I have read the novel and I've seen basically 90 movies.
This woman, Mary Shelley, really spoiled this movie like years and years in advance.
I know.
Spoiler
alert, Mary.
No, the thing that once again, and it's always they're just it's being faithful, but I always get like, if you're Victor Frankenstein, this guy called his shot. He says, "I'm coming for you on the wedding night." Don't you just never leave Elizabeth alone?
I know, but we have seen this in the original 1931. It's like, why do you leave her in the room alone at all?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and this one tries to think of now he runs out because he sees the guy in the cloak and thinks that's the creature. That's clever, but at the same time, it is like, wow, these guys really are playing a cat and mouse game.
Because they end up killing the guy in the cloak, but of course it's not the monster. And he's like, he made me do it, which I have to see that scene. Why would you not? I would have loved to have seen the scene of that guy, of the monster going like, "Hey, listen to me, you son of a bitch. You're gonna do this, okay?"
Yeah, or I will kill everything. I will be with you on your wedding night. Oh, I'm divorced. Your next wedding night. I'm totally there.
Yeah. Well, it's a kind of bizarre threat that isn't really like very imminent, but I guess it's scary.
Fuck around and find out. Fuck around. You didn't see part 1.
Yeah.
Fuck around.
That's where we all learned, if you fuck around and find out. So anyway, and he's like, "Oh my God, if this isn't the creature, that means," or there are like other people around too. Maybe just post one of them. And all he had to do was like post one of them at Elizabeth's door, and
I know.
And the creature comes in, and he really does go like,
Branagh has like armed guards around the Frankenstein place.
Yeah, I mean it's of course, surprise, surprise for the Branagh adaptation. It's a little actioned up, a
little bit, a little juiced up.
Yeah, that's that's basically kind of the Branagh goes. I was thinking maybe we could juice it up a little bit. I feel like that's his pitch for everything.
I want do Mary Shelley, but on roids. Is that possible? On roids?
I didn't see his. Of course, I didn't. But when he did Macbeth on Broadway, he's the first person to fully stage the opening battle that's only alluded to.
Oh my God!
So the thing opens up. Yeah, I heard it was awesome. It just like Macbeth just starts in media res in like a big, huge battle sequence on stage.
Nice.
And I'm like, that does sound. And you just see Macbeth being the badass everybody talks about him being. And you're like,
well, that was cool. The whole thing with, Branagh's interpretations generally have always been
juiced up.
Juiced up. I want to make it visceral. The whole thing about Henry V, which of course was based on his stage show, Henry V he's like, this is a war picture.
Yeah.
So he wanted, and I remember the critics of the day when it came out, like, Olivier is doing a stage-bound film, But in the case of Branagh, they've got dirt and mud and shit on them, and there's blood everywhere, and there's like, cool, they're in the middle of battle. It's like, yeah, it's good.
You know what I love is that this thing about the Hallmark Frankenstein is just us going, you know who's great? Kenneth Branagh. It's just become that because it's like I said, regardless of whatever
my problems with it, it is still it's a pretty great adaptation, and especially filmic adaptation.
And that's it exactly. He really made it cinematic, and that's why the one I go back to a lot. That and the whale version, because both of those are really good filmmakers taking this material and going, what is the movie of this?
Yes, and they had very them visions in their head.
And I think that's what is missing here. Is this is handsomely directed, but it's also anonymously directed, and just it's competently directed.
It's competent.
You never get the sense that this guy was like, "Ooh, I've got an idea on how we could really." No. It's more just like, "Yep, it's in frame and it looks pretty good." And it does.
And he's like going, good. How many setups can we do today? Let's do 4 setups. 4 setups. We're doing 4 setups. Yeah.
That's crazy.
What are you, insane?
So he comes in, and I do once again. I think Luke Goss is really the MVP of this whole thing as the creature, because he does play it like, I'm sorry about this, but I am gonna have to murder you because like fuck around and find out it's sort of my thing.
It is.
Yeah, but he does play it like, I don't want to do this, but like this is totally your husband's fault.
Oh man,
you know, so this is gonna have to happen.
He kills the fuck out of her.
He does. He kills the fuck out of her.
We don't see that again. What they're using it for the shock value. This is the director going like, yes, what would be more effective is if Victor realizes once it's like, oh my God, she was alone, and he runs back and she's just dead on the bed. Yeah. She's got the markings around her throat. And again, this actor as Victor Frankenstein, he brings the pain.
He's good. I mean, these are, like I said, one of the things
he's tearing you up here.
This would be completely unwatchable with worse actors. Like that's the thing about it, right? It's like these actors are good enough that they're at least like, I am going like, well, the script isn't good, but it's like basically watchable on a scene-to-scene basis.
But you know what I would do if I were adapting the story and you get to the death of Elizabeth? Then I would have the voiceover saying like, and I could not rest until I found him. And then I would cut to the Arctic. Instead, we're here, baby. Spend another 28 minutes.
Not here.
But it is.
It's about that, though. I mean, I do remember. I did actually like clock whatever was left and go like,
it's long.
What's going to happen now? Because we're kind of at the end of this thing. Well, we don't even. She dies. All the servants come in and they're like, what? And he's like, get out of here. And then he goes outside and the creature jumps. The creature's getaway is a little dumb because he just jumps into this lake, and then Victor's like, I will find you.
Yeah, he jumps in the lake as if he is an amazing swimmer, or he drops to the bottom, or maybe he doesn't need to breathe. Who knows what? But essentially, he drops into the river, and then it is a thing of Victor trying to follow him, then going, oh, it's too wet.
And it is,
and then he turns around and comes out like, damn it.
Well, and then
he got me on the wet thing.
So he disappears to the lake. I found this very funny because then it cuts to it's morning now. She's in a casket in the back of a wagon that takes off. And then he turns around behind him and he's got a bunch of people who are like dredging the lake. They're like poking around in the water. And he's like, you find anything yet? It's just like, do we need any of that?
There are boats out there. Like they're going to find him floating around. And it's like, no.
Well, just the idea that he like jumped into the water and he's like, wait. Come morning, we'll poke around the water for him. Maybe he'll still be out there. What are you going to find? Oh my God! That once again, all of this we could have just.
But we still have to have the showdown because apparently Elizabeth's death is what broke his dad. Yeah, it wasn't William, and it was
the one I love the most. Your fiance,
or the maid, or
Julie Delpy earlier in the movie.
Yeah, it was. The adopted daughter who was going to end up being his daughter-in-law.
By the way, did you notice Julie Delpy still had like second billing on part 2 here, even though she's not even in it? She's listed in the opening credits early.
I didn't notice that.
So she's getting royalties without even having to be in this fucking thing.
Nicely done, Julie.
Yeah,
nicely done.
Well, because she sneaks into the previously on, they give her a credit.
I am. tapping the old hat to you there.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And she goes, "That'll cover the cost of a Linklater film."
Yeah. Let's go to Paris.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be something Adam Goldberg and I can do. So
I don't know. Are you doing a Frankenstein? I did a Frankenstein.
I did a Frankenstein movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think? Actually, I think they did make that movie where they were in Paris after this. Do you think they talked about their Frankenstein movies that came out the same year?
Yeah. What's yours? Mine was all modern. It was like a 7. What was yours? Oh,
yours is like intensely faithful and novel, huh?
You died fast. Oh, that's good. You died real fast.
Geez, I wish I had been killed off early in mine. They almost had me in a fucking TV series about it.
I know. I'm so glad it didn't get picked up. Yeah. I love Parker. Don't get me wrong.
Parker's great, but yeah. Anyway, how's Linklater doing?
You talked to Richard? You talked to how's he doing?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying,
our dueling Goldbergs.
I'm just saying, if anything happens to Ethan Hawke, I could slip right into those movies.
Yeah.
I could do that. I could be kind of.
They dated in real life. I told you that I saw them at the club.
Yeah, I know.
I saw them at a comedy.
Well, that movie was based a lot on their relationship about when they, going to France, and her French family and stuff like that, and him being a neurotic New Yorker.
Yep.
It's pretty
sort
good.
Sort of the intercontinental version of Annie Hall.
Yeah, I thought I liked that. It was perfectly.
You are what they would call a real New York Jew.
Yeah.
Only with a French accent.
Yeah,
see,
when it's in a French accent, it doesn't come off as anti-Semitic. It's almost kind of cute.
What Grammy Delpy would call a real New York Jew. Oh no, we've gone off.
All right, yeah. Well,
so the movie wraps up.
Yeah, so Victor's moping around in the cemetery, going, "Everyone I love is dead. My father's a shell of a man." And what's this?
What's this?
What's
it's addressed
this?
To F.
It's to F. I'm an F.
Mr. F.
I can't believe it took us that long to get to that. Because
there you go.
This show is a show about monster movies, mostly through references to Arrested Development, as people.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what people tune in for.
Then because the next.
I hope they mention Buster's hand. If we had done a Young Frankenstein, we could have done something with like Kenneth Mars's character with his. And we could have done a lot of Buster references.
Yeah, give the man a big hand. But
I'm a monster.
Well, that does fit our Frankenstein. I'm a monster.
I love Young Frankenstein, by the way. Still one of the best Frankenstein movies.
Agreed. Yeah, that's in the top 5 for
sure.
That's
not even a hot take.
No, because we also can definitively say that we've seen pretty much every Frankenstein movie now.
Yeah,
and most are bad. So.
Most are bad.
Like this one.
This one isn't bad.
It's not bad, but there's no I wouldn't. Spoiler alert for the end of this thing. I have no reason to recommend it. I wouldn't say avoid it, but like. There's nothing here that's like, oh, you gotta see this, because it's just like, if you've read once again, I would recommend Dan Stevens' Audible audiobook reading of Mary Shelley's novel over this.
I would. Well, we're not there. We'll hold off.
We'll get there. But anyway, so then it's more notes for him, and he ends up in the mountains, and he has a beard. And then he takes a
merry chase.
He takes a guy's dog sled, and they're all running around. And then the snow. I just like at a certain point, my notes are just like he gets a dog sled. Then the snow gets worse, and some of the dogs die. And now he's and eventually,
no, actually, the dogs are torn apart.
That's right.
The creature took care of his dogs,
but then he still has some dogs.
He has some dogs, and then we finally
catch up.
The very opening, literally, we're getting rerun.
Yeah, no, I did think, we have to literally see Donald Sutherland looking through his telescope again.
Like, what's going on out there?
Oh, there it is. And I'm just like, we're literally just watching the first 5 minutes.
Victor Frankenstein is like, catch up to him. I'm almost on him. He shoots his gun. He shoots it, and then he falls off his sled, and then that's it. Then that's when they go pick him up.
We cut back to he's now under blankets on death's door once more.
He's like, I did a bad thing.
I've been a bad boy. I thought the Lou Costello
and he calls Donald Sutherland. He goes, Henry? He's like, no, I'm Walton. I'm Walton, the clearly American captain of this ship.
Yeah, if William Hurt was game for the accent, Donald Sutherland was like, I'm not going to even fucking
I'm not even
bother.
going to do it. And you know what will still sell it? I'm Donald fucking Sutherland. You can add gravitas to whatever the fuck.
It's true. He really does make these scenes that aren't amazing have some impact.
He actually looks like he has grieved the Doctor. And basically, here's the thing.
He's really acting, you guys.
They have made the inference that Victor's story has weighed on him.
Yeah.
So the crew is starting to celebrate because and dying Dr. Frankenstein goes, "Why do I hear music?" And he goes, "Well, as soon as the fog lifts or whatever, the ice, we're going back home."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, so basically I'm turning away from my ambitions because I will not be responsible for the death of all these people."
What we didn't see is while he's been listening to the story, at some point he goes like, you know what, let's just turn this ship around, actually.
Yeah.
No, keep going, Victor. Yeah, make sure we just turn a hard ship right
Plus,
back
also
to where
Walton
we came
goes,
from.
"Dude, I could make so much money off of this guy's story. It doesn't even matter if I find a route to Europe from
this
here
is
or
gonna
whatever."
this is gonna be big. Wait till I tell my friend Mary Shelley about this.
Yeah, the Shelley family would
They're
love
gonna
it.
love this. They're gonna get a big kick out of this story. No, yeah. So, but Victor's like, I can't leave. I can't die until I destroy the monster. I have to stay
he goes,
here.
"I can't die until I destroy him." Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. There goes the heart.
There goes the heart.
I'm done.
Yep.
And he just quietly dies, and it's like, well, that was too bad. He was a weird guy, but he was pretty nice.
And Walton goes out to talk to his men who are celebrating because they're like, "Hey, we don't want to be out here any fucking more."
Well,
and then he goes, keep an eye open.
Yeah.
Keep an eye open because that creature guy might still be out there. And they're like, "Sure thing."
He's still poking about, and they're like, we never saw any creature.
Yeah. And then he goes back to his cabin, and
there's
guess
the creature.
what?
There's the creature got in
He's
somehow.
right there.
Yeah, I don't know how he got up on him. Well, whatever. He's like, hey. And I did want Donald Sutherland to go like, are you that creature he made?
Yeah. I've heard a lot about you, my friend.
Yeah. And because the creature's
But
going like...
it is kind of weirdly... there's a weird bit to that, though, because the creature...
Yeah.
Comes in. Clearly, he's been stalking and ninja-ing, and he's found his way on the ship. But he finds his
I like
father.
this take that he's a ninja. I thought that was a bold new take.
He learned to talk by watching the blind guy and his family. He learned his ninja skills because he went to a dojo, and he was peeking in through a dojo.
It was a brief... he actually spent a brief period of time with the League of Assassins. That's off-screen, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Under Ra's al Ghul.
Yes, under Ra's
the
al Ghul.
demon's head.
By the way, the correct pronunciation.
Yeah.
Now, what is this Ra's al Ghul shit?
It's crazy people who don't know.
I don't know.
But so basically, what's interesting is he has been wanting to drive his father to death or whatever, or pull him out, destroy him. But he finds him under a blanket, pulls the blanket down, and he puts his hand on him. And Walton comes in and sees this, and the creature isn't shocked or surprised.
No.
He turns around and goes, "He's cold."
Yeah.
And
like he's dead or something.
Yeah, and Walton goes, "It's because he's dead."
Yeah.
And he goes, "He is?"
Yeah.
And the creature's kind of like, "What is death, Walton?" I mean, it's so strange. You're like, you've killed plenty of people, and here you are going like, "Wait, my father's dead? What's that about?"
This is once again this is a big problem I find in all, not all, but in a lot of the adaptations is they want the creature to have whatever level of intelligence is needed for the scene they're trying. Yeah, right. So it's like, sometimes he's a real idiot. Sometimes he's a genius. I mean, when he outsmarted him with the fucking honeymoon night thing, and now he's going, "What is death?" And it's like, wait a minute, you're an established murderer.
Why is he cold?
Wait, I would have loved it. He goes, wait a minute. I was killing those people? Oh my God, I didn't know that's what
They didn't pop up immediately after I left the room and went, "Gotcha."
I thought they got up and went, "Okay, I've learned my lesson. Thanks, creature." They're gone forever? Oh.
The creature literally is like, I even invented a word to describe what I did, and it was punking. I punked them.
I was the little known fact, the creature was the original punk. What a scamp!
I wasn't trying to kill anybody, but punk them.
Oh God, Yeah, this is bad. This is where you're just like, come on, you're better than this.
But this is where they have their conversation about, Christ never felt abandoned by his father. Yeah, well, his father loved him. Yeah. There's that, and then basically he's like, well,
and Donald Sutherland's like, did he? Because a lot of shitty stuff happened to Christ.
But that was all part of the plan.
Yeah, I know. I always thought Christ should have been angry at his father, but that's me. That's my notes for the Bible if they want to do a rewrite.
I didn't want to. I just wrote it in the margins. Yeah. I didn't write over anything. They can use it or not.
Who do I give this for? I just think it could use a punch up. There's also some stuff that could go. It drags a little in some places.
Well, we know now that because he's been autographing them, we do know that Donald Trump wrote the Bible. So there's that.
And that's one of my favorites is Bible. That's good stuff.
Jeez. And do you have a favorite book? Oh, they're all good.
I mean, that's asking me to choose the whole thing.
The answer of a man who has never read a word.
The beginning's great, but the middle also very good. And the end, the end, so good.
Yeah, the whole thing, Act 3 really holds up. There's a revelation. Yeah. And he wouldn't even know that. Shut up.
No.
Anyway.
This is a man who had to fast forward through the story parts of Bloodsport. Which is
I know! Get to the good
boring. Part. Where's the kicking?
I want more kick punching. Why isn't Kick Puncher in this?
He would have loved Kick Puncher.
He would have. That would have.
My punches have the power of kicks. All right. And he does go like, well, I don't understand. How did he die? And Donald Sutherland goes like, you killed him.
Yeah.
I did not.
You killed your dad.
And the monster's like, you can't just be throwing accusations around like that. Where's your evidence?
Yeah. At this point, it becomes like a Dateline.
And then
if you have proof, bring me the proof.
So this is where he's inconsistent with the scene because he's like, well, I didn't like killing those people. So he went from not understanding what death is to going like, yeah, but I didn't like all the killing.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I may have strangled kids and ladies and stuff, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I felt bad about it. So get off my back, man.
It's a weak argument in any court of law. I didn't enjoy doing it.
No.
Okay, then innocent.
We were only putting him on trial because we thought he liked it. But if he didn't like it, then I guess
no.
Never mind.
Free to go.
Yes, there you go, son. He was
enjoy the world, you twisted abomination.
We are pleading not guilty on grounds of sadness.
Regret?
Yeah.
It's the regret defense.
Not guilty by reason of regret. He's real sad.
Look at him.
Look at him. He's crying right now.
You look at that face. You got to tell me that's a thing you want to put in jail? Not that face.
It always goes to Matt Gorley's defense attorney for the slashers. Yeah. Look at my boy. Look at that
little boy.
He just... I love the Jaws one. It's my favorite. He goes, all that shark wanted to do was swim all day, and then Bobby Shaw and Dick Dreyfuss show up. Oh, they were so mean. Anyway,
we're talking about anything but the end of this movie.
Well, you know why? Because the end of this thing fucking sucks. I will say, the end. This thing just stops. They just ran out of time.
They did.
Like, literally, it is like, sorry, this time slot is over now. We have to show a Frasier rerun.
Yeah, he picks up Frankenstein's corpse, walks off the ship. The people on the ship don't do anything but watch him walk off, and then he disappears into the fog. Credits roll.
Yeah, really. And it's a hard cut to, we're done. I did want him to be picking up the body and carrying, and I just wanted one of the sailors to, take a step forward, and Dawson was like, no. Just let it happen.
I would have liked one of the sailors to have stepped forward and said, I'm sorry for your loss. And then very, very in camera hands the creature a Hallmark card and then looks out the camera and goes, for any occasion.
Well, actually, I did think about, that the way this was aired, because we're watching this from whatever the DVD release or something that they put out.
Yeah.
But this aired with those closing credits. Something came in from the top and was just like, on an all-new Wind Calls the Heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonight on Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman,
it's
or
both,
whatever that's on the Hallmark Channel. Right?
It's both a love of mine and not. But when you see something that was aired originally on broadcast television, I do kind of enjoy like obvious commercial breaks.
Yeah.
It's like they can't escape it.
No.
They're trying to do like their serious film or whatever, and then it's like a soft fade, and you're like, oh, this would have been where, sometimes I don't smell so fresh is like the next thing people are going to hear.
The greatest one that everybody, of course, went viral was that CNN one where one of the horrifying mass shootings. And then they're like, yeah, and we've confirmed these people are dead. This like, it's wing time at Chili's. And you're like, oh, God, are you kidding me? And literally,
what's back? The bloomin' onion.
That was exactly what it was like. And literally, they had to go like, MSNBC is re-examining our ad policies on stuff. And you're going like, oh, you fucking think so? God.
Yeah, you just don't follow up, a school shooting with...
so many dead
Are you
kids.
ready for some football?
Anyway, this thing just stops, and that's actually, I guess, pretty appropriate for the whole vibe of this thing. That it's just like, I don't know, it's over. You guys, we ran out of time.
You close the book, and you move on.
Yeah, it further adds the TV nature of it, though, as it does anyway. That's it. That's 2004's Frankenstein from the good folks at Hallmark.
Which we did not recall existed
until
we did.
This is, to borrow the words of the folks over at Blank Check, this movie does not exist.
Yeah.
It just straight up doesn't exist. So great. So anyway, do we recommend people watch it? No. Like I said, I wouldn't be like, oh God, don't watch it, but like,
if you are a real fan of the source material, the book, and you want to see something faithful to it, which is well done enough, then
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Is like, know what you're going in for, which is cable TV budget, but like reasonably well used.
Yes.
It's definitely like a basic cable looking
thing.
But
I will say, if your love of the Frankenstein creature comes primarily from film, this will be kind of a slow one for you, and there's no real reason to watch it.
I do want to, as we sometimes do, I do want to look at a couple of the reviews of this, because there's a handful of people who love this.
Oh, I know.
It's and there are literally people going like, finally, which I just think is okay. Like I said, fine, but it's just like, is the point of adapting a novel to just do the events of the book in front of a camera? Because
ask Zack Snyder.
I love this one because this guy is going, if you were disappointed by how loosely the 31 movie followed the book, I'm like, man, who's seeing that whale movie and just going like, I mean, I guess it's okay, but they fucked a book up big time. It's like, but it's a classic, brilliant film.
It is. And I'm all about the source material, but I'm like, guys, The Shining is a great movie. It is not the book.
No,
I love the book. I love the movie.
I love
the book.
No, that's one of the biggest things where it's like, Stephen King is not wrong. That is objectively a pretty bad adaptation of the novel, but a brilliant movie in its own sense. So that's always a weird. But yeah, so many people are like, this is they finally done it.
They finally did it.
Oh, this is my favorite though. Somebody goes, need to study for your test on Frankenstein? Try watching this. True. Now you don't have to read the book.
Yeah, it's very true. Though if you mention Clerval's death, they'll be like, oh,
what happened now? And I also like this guy, who's, by the way, his IMDb credit is Count Vlad Dracula. And he says, for a very long time, I was on a quest to find a faithful film adaptation of Frankenstein that followed the plot and physical appearance and creature from the novel. Hey, boy, this guy's got an active social life. I just like the idea of, I've spent years on a quest. Needless to say, I was pleasantly surprised that it would be Hallmark that finally made a version of Frankenstein that actually followed the novel. The film from 1994, actually called Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, was not as faithful as that title would imply. It had the creature bald with a starred eye and speaking like a stroke victim. It also had Elizabeth's heart torn out of her chest and then brought back to life in the style of the Frankenstein creature.
He's not wrong. That has all of it in it. Yeah.
That's true, but I almost wanted to go like, exciting shit like that.
Oh, dude.
So and then he basically just goes on to go like, nuh-uh, whatever you think is Frankenstein, that's not right. No. This is right. Not only did this version of the creature physically look like, talk like, and move like the literary version of the creature, but it also restored one of the novel's secondary morals. Everyone remembers that Frankenstein teaches you not to tamper with nature, but most people forget that it also had the creature learn that revenge was not the answer and that revenge would bring him no peace. In my opinion, that was as important a message as that of not tampering with nature. So why do so many film versions leave this aspect out of the story altogether? Why are only the inaccurate and incomplete versions remembered? It's not fair that this version of Frankenstein is almost entirely obscure. I would argue that's actually pretty fair, just because there's just not very interesting here. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that, oh, wait, you'll like this, Brendan. Here's where I'm going to get a little nitpicky. It's a very good adaptation. The biggest changes deal with Victor's death in the novel. She dies before he sees lightning strike a tree, not after. Also, later in the story, another body is blamed on the creature in a village, but it could be that someone died by coincidence and that the creature got blamed for it.
Oh, that's right.
And the creature's eyes, they're blue in this and yellow in the book.
That's true. Wow, a nitpicker.
That is very nitpicky, I will say.
Since you didn't point out Clerval's death, maybe I've been wrong this whole time. Maybe Henry does die in the novel.
Maybe. I don't...
Again, it has been a long time since I read it. But I guess that's a possibility.
Yeah, but it seems like it's a bunch of literary nerds that love this. And that's fine. That's really... I will say, that seems to be who it's made for. It really is for... Like, the whole point of this is just like, here it is, here's the book. But once again, unlike not Branagh's Frankenstein, this is where I'll bring up Branagh's Hamlet, where here it is, I'm going to do the entire text, but I'm also going to have a directorial eye and a take and like a vision for it. Yeah. I think that, you can be faithful, and it needs to be like yes and improv, right? Where it's like, yes, it's faithful, and this is what we're doing with it to once again.
I also think for this material, you can do a 2 to 2.5 hour movie.
Well, if you took out all the padding, this thing could be like a 100-minute movie.
Yeah. And it would be faithful and all that stuff.
Yeah, the padding doesn't make it more like it up. Tighten it up. Always tighten it up. I mean, I'm somebody who frequently watches stuff and goes like, I could get 20 minutes out of here. I have an editor. I just have an editor mindset. I mean, and not always do I think that would be like better, but it's always just like, this could be tightened a little bit.
Yeah, but you say that about things I've written that are literally 20 minutes long, and you say I could get 20 minutes out of this, and then I'm like, wait a minute, that would leave nothing.
No, I could get 20 minutes out of here.
God damn it. So anyway,
next week though. If we thought this was a little staid, we're about to explode next week on this show.
Uh-oh. Why? What's happening?
Because we are taking it back to the world of Stephen Sommers and big budget summer blockbusters with Stephen Sommers' Van Helsing.
I've never heard about this. Is this the movie about the old Dutch gentleman who fights Dracula?
Well, he just got a facelift. A facelift that makes him look very much like Wolverine. This is my God, they sunk a lot of money into this thing.
This was this I don't think killed Stephen Sommers' career, but this was
no. He still made a G.I. Joe movie after this, so don't worry.
Yeah, that's right.
This was definitely like, this man can do no wrong. What are you gonna do next, Stephen? And this was his big swing. It almost felt like, man, the Mummy movies were just building up to this.
It was a swing and a miss.
This was we'll talk about this. This was not only meant to be a massive franchise, but they were talking about TV tie-ins, and this was going to be a huge shared universe of stuff. They thought this was going to be. They're looking to the next 20 years of Universal movies here.
That's similar to the Dark Tower. Because they were like, we are going to make multiple films and TV series,
and it's all going to be connected.
First movie comes out and it stank.
Yeah, it is always dangerous to put the cart before the horse on those movie franchises and stuff like that. So, so that'll be next week on the show. We will have Elliot Lewis with us, who is the biggest Van Helsing defender I've ever met.
Yay, Elliot!
And I want to like it more than I do, I think. But there's a lot of stuff I do like in it.
We'll talk.
Namely that crossbow. Get ready to hear about that crossbow.
Oh, good.
Which I have seen in person at the Museum of Sci-Fi and Horror.
Why didn't they just give him crucifix claws that popped out of his knuckles?
Well, we will talk about some of the things that they do to make him literally Wolverine in the movie, and that I do have some questions about. But that will all be next week on what I'm sure will be a very subdued episode of this show, as often is the case when Elliot's on. But yes, so we're actually gonna have Elliot on for the next 2 weeks of shows. So
that's too much Elliot.
That's a lot of Elliot. Can there be too much Elliot?
No.
No, we love Elliot, and I've often talked about we could slot Elliot in as the third host, and we would have no problem whatsoever.
Elliot is very smart about not wanting to do all the films that we do.
No, there's a lot of times when I talk to Elliot and they're like,
They are protecting themselves.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
So, but that'll be next week on the show. But that's going to do it for this week's episode of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters. I'm John Campbell.
I'm Brendan Jones.
And remember, there are such things as monsters.
And yeah, exactly. If you need to do your book report, this is your one.